What's cracking, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. New video. The other day I did a video about prison, and people sometimes people like the way I talk about the environment, right? And they say it actually allows them to put themselves there. And today I wanted to talk about something else. Has to do with prison. I want to talk about the feeling of prison, right? Like I said the other day on the Memorial Day weekend video, unless you've been involved in something, you really can't wrap your head around what it really is, right? Thankfully, most people don't know about being in a maximum security prison. Now, in California, the highest level of security when it comes to the level 4 prison yards is called a level 4 180 design prison. Next is a level 4 270 design prison, then level 3 2-1, right? And a lot of people ask me, can you explain the difference between a 270 and a 180? A 180 has 3 sections, A, B, and C, just like a 270. However, in a 180, there's a wall completely dividing each section from each other. So A section is one pod, right? Like you can only see the cells that are in there. B section is one pod. It's got 2 walls, right? And then, they all have 2 walls, but there's a wall separating B from A and C. There's a wall separating A from B and C from B, okay? In a 270 design prison, you can see all 3 sections. So the gun tower has a 270 degree eye coverage, we'll call it, right? In a 180, the CO there's only 180 degrees of sight or freedom, we'll call it. Okay. I've been on 180 as well as 270. Vast majority of my time was on 180 yards, right? And I can tell you this, it's a completely different feeling. But when you walk onto a 180 design yard, level 4 prison in California, you feel it in the air. You know you're in a place that's it's not Disneyland, I'll tell you that. It's not a place where you go to have fun. And I remember even correctional officers, they would come from other prisons and get transferred for whatever reason. Maybe their family was closer to where, New Folsom, Pelican Bay, whatever. And they would say sometimes, I remember it happening a couple times, like under an escort, like, man, this place feels different. Like you can feel it in the air. What that feeling is, I don't know. But obviously prison is full of men who are angry, who are hateful, prideful, egotistical, sad. And I think those type of energies, they're all negative energies. And it becomes, I don't know, if not like a beacon, but it's like a cesspool of negativity. And there's always, whether in your cell, whether on the yard, the chow hall, no matter where you are, there's always that threat of violence. Even in your sleep, unless you're in a cell by yourself, even in your sleep, there's the threat of violence. You could get politicked on, your people turned on you for whatever reason, or somebody turned on you and convinced other people. Boom. Next thing you know, you're on a gurney or you're in a helicopter. It could be a Sally loses his mind. I talked about that the other day. You're trying to sleep. You're in your cell. Next thing you know, you're in a fight for your life. I will say this too. I remember having a conversation when I told you guys the story about that guy P the other day, who wound up he had been in another prison that was frowned upon, right? And I remember when he first got there, and he had come from Lancaster, which is a 270 yard. And we're having a conversation, and I'm filling this dude out. And as we're talking, I say, hey, hold up, Holmes. He's like, what's up? I said, you don't hear that? He said, hear what? I said, you don't notice how quiet it got? And these are the things we have to pay attention to, or, excuse me, when we're inside, when we're behind those walls. Patterns are important. A lot of us that did a lot of time, we notice it's just it's a custom of ours. Our girlfriends, our wives, our loved ones that we interact with on a daily basis, we take in a pattern that they have, whatever that pattern is. Out here, it may be a lot different because there's more decisions and more choices, more things to do. But you kind of get a read on people like that. In there, it's a whole lot easier. But whenever the pattern changes, something's going on. Out here as well as in there, right? But he hadn't noticed that there was less noise. There was still noise on the yard, but there was less noise. Usually, if you notice, if you're smart enough, you're vigilant enough to pay attention to the sounds of the yard, even when you're mid-conversation, that's going to tell you that there's a group on the yard that's contemplating something, that's about to do something. Their people are quieting down. So when I'm telling him, he's like, I didn't even notice. And then boom, there was an incident between the blacks, their people. Something happened. And I remember him being like, damn, Holmes, how did you know that? And I told him, hey, you got to pay attention to everything that goes on around here. When something big is going to happen, it's almost like, it's not electricity, but there's a different feel to the air. And this is why I always tell people I really believe in energy. Imagine you have a group, let's say the Southerners, for example. Let's say you go to yard. Let's say there's 80 Southerners on the yard, during yard, right? Which would be a whole lot, right? But let's say there's 80 of them on the yard and something's about to go down. Imagine 80 people with evil intentions playing out in their minds who they're going to hit, which part of the yard they're going to attack. It would seem kind of obvious, right, that there would be some kind of something in the air when you have that many people plotting the death of another man or other men, another group, another faction, another ethnicity, whatever it is. Prison is an ugly place, man. I can say this. I have met people that were innocent of the crime they were convicted of. There's some right now. But I will say 99% of those, even if they're innocent, they're where they need to be for a period of time. Like I said, I know a dude who, I said this is a while back. I know a dude who he was a father of three, two girls and a boy. One of his family members did something. This dude was convicted. This dude did 24 years, had a life sentence. That's the kind of person where I could say he didn't belong there. But there's a lot of guys that, even though they're innocent of what they're convicted of, they got away with a whole lot more. So sitting down for a while, it helps them. It helps most people. As we get older, we grow wiser, hopefully. We grow more and more knowledgeable of ourselves. We develop personal insight, and we realize who the real problem is. You know, some people don't like when I say I don't wish jail on Wes Watson, but for what he just got busted for, he needs to sit down. He needs to sit down for as long as it'll take for him to realize the way he treats people, the way he thinks, the way he acts, the way he interacts is wrong. That's my video for today. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Everybody, please be safe, be smart, and tell the ones you love that you love them, man. I'm out of here.